Hello, and welcome to Thomas Teaches. As part of the 4th of July weekend, we are going to be taking a look at the American flag and how it came to be. One question we are going to answer today is, why is the American flag red, white, and blue? What does the American flag consist of? It has 13 stripes, alternating in red and white, and it also has 50 stars located in the top left-hand corner. Let's take a look what they mean. First, the 13 stripes alternating in red and white. The 13 stripes stand for the 13 original colonies that would become the United States. The 50 stars located in the top left-hand corner with the blue background stand for the 50 states that are in the Union of the United States today. Fun fact, did you know that the United States flag didn't always have 13 stripes and 50 stars? In fact, there have been 27 versions of the United States flag. Let's take a look in detail. Depending how many states have been in the Union, depends how many stars have been on the flag. All the way from 13, 15, all the way up to 48, 49, or 50. If you want to skip the flag history and go straight to where it talks about the flag's colors, go to the time on the screen. The first recognized flag of America was called the Grand Union Flag, also known as the Continental Colors Flag. It was flown during the American War for Independence, also known as the Revolutionary War. It has 13 stripes with the Union Jack in the top left-hand corner. It was flown between 1775 and 1777. On June 14, 1777, the United States would adopt the first Stars and Stripes flag. This has an interesting history. There was a resolution in 1777. However, many flags were created at home and not produced in any sort of factory. So there were plenty of variations of 13 star and 13 stripe flags, including stripes that were red, white, and blue. The 13 stars indicated a new constellation. Francis Hopkinson, a naval flag designer and signer of the Declaration of Independence, designed this flag in 1777 for the Navy, wanting 7 red stripes to be more visible out at sea. Betsy Ross, who owned an upholstery business, was also said to sew one of the first flags. Her flag had stars in a circle meant to indicate any one star better than the other, representing the 13 states. Here's where it gets murky, but also kind of cool. We don't exactly know who sewed the first flag, and we don't know the exact first design. There wasn't a specific design until 1795. Vermont and Kentucky would join the Union, and so in 1795 the United States adopted a new flag with 15 stars, and get this, 15 stripes, the only design with 15 stripes on the flag. From 1795 to 1818, the United States would add 5 states. So in 1818, they adopted a new flag with 20 stars to include Indiana, Louisiana, Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee, the first flag to fly for only 1 year. Later on in the year of 1818, Illinois would join the Union. So the following year, the United States added 1 more star, bringing it up to 21 on their flag. James Monroe was the only president to serve under the last 2 flags, and he would be the only president for this flag as well. In 1820, the American flag went up to 23 stars, adding Alabama and Maine to the Union, and would last 2 years. Missouri was added to the United States in 1821 as part of the Missouri Compromise to even out the free and slave states in the Union. Maine was added the year before as a free state. Missouri would be added as a slave state. This flag would last for 14 years. Arkansas would be added to the Union in 1836. bumping up the star total to 25. This flag would last for 1 year. Michigan was added to the Union as a free state in 1837 to keep the balance of slave and free states. Michigan was a 26th state, and this flag would last for 8 years. Florida would be the 27th state into the Union. This flag would only last for 1 year. An independent nation since 1836 would be annexed in 1845. They were the 28th state to join the Union. Texas is the biggest state in the lower 48. A state a year, a star a year seems to be the pattern that we are on. Iowa, a territory since 1838, would join the Union late of 1846. So in 1847, a star would be added to the flag. Iowa would join as a free state, and many people would come to build farms. Wisconsin would join the Union in 1848, bringing the total up to 30. This was an interesting story because Wisconsin actually rejected statehood 4 different times before joining the Union in 1848. 1848, Gold Rush, California. People flocked to the state, and a couple years later, California would gain statehood and become the 31st state in the Union. The land of 10,000 lakes, Minnesota would join the Union in 1858 as a free state and the 32nd state represented on the flag. Oregon was the 2nd state on the Pacific and the 33rd state in the Union, would join the Union as a free state, even though its first 2 senators were pro-slavery. 3 months before the Civil War started, Kansas joined the Union as a free state, becoming the 34th state to join the Union. It's the Civil War, and the country is split. Part of Virginia is in arms as it secedes from the Union, as the western part is full of pro-abolitionists. They want to break off and would, eventually, as a free state. West Virginia would become the 35th state. Nevada would join toward the end of the Civil War as a free state and would become the 36th state in the Union. Nebraska was the 37th state added to the Union and the first after the Civil War. This was made possible by the invention of the train. This flag would last for 10 years. Colorado would be a part of a number of territories before becoming a state in the Union, from Mexico to Kansas, and eventually its own territory. It would become a state in 1876, and its star would fly in 1877. After only adding 1 star at a time, in 1890, 5 stars would be added for the states of North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Washington, and Idaho. This flag would fly for 1 year. A year later, President Benjamin Harrison added another state to the Union, Wyoming. Wyoming would be the 6th in his presidency, the most out of any president. Wyoming would be the 44th state in the Union, added in 1890, even though it was 5,000 people short of the requirement to become a state. 5 years later, in 1896, Utah would join the Union and become the 45th state. The flag of 45 stars would fly for 8 years. Oklahoma would be the first state joining in the 20th century. Oklahoma would be the 46th state in the Union, and their star would fly in 1908. Southwest territories of New Mexico and Arizona were added in 1912. Unlike our early history of having 1 president serve under multiple flags, 8 presidents served under the flag of 48 stars. This flag would be in existence for 47 years until 1959. Alaska, the biggest state, would join the Union in 1959. Alaska is the 49th state. This is the last time a flag would fly for 1 year. Hawaii would join the Union later on in 1959, bringing the total up to 50. In 1960, the United States adopted the current flag, which is now flown. This is by far the longest tenured flag in the United States flag history, as it has been flying for 63 years. If you're keeping track at home, that makes 9 of the 27 flags only flew for 1 year before changing. Alright, let's finally answer. Why is the United States flag red, white, and blue? When the Stars and Stripes were adopted by Congress, they didn't leave a written record on why they chose the colors red, white, and blue. Some said it was because of the colors of the British flag, and that's what they were used to. However, in 1782, 5 years later, Congress of the Confederation chose the same colors as the seal of the United States, red, white, and blue, and they had a meeting behind each color. Let's take a look at what each color means. Red. It stands for valor and hardiness. Less than a decade before, this newfound country battled for their independence. The white stripes and white stars on the flag stand for purity and innocence. The blue in the left-hand corner, which also signifies the sky amongst the stars, would signify vigilance, perseverance, and justice. This video was a lot of fun to put together to learn more about the American flag. I hope you gain insight as well on how the American flag came to be. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, click subscribe, and leave a comment below. Feel free to leave a comment on what you would like to learn about next. Also, is there something that can help this video be better? Is there something that you like, don't like? Feel free to leave a comment below as well. Until next time, keep learning, keep reading, and keep growing. And happy 4th of July. Bye-bye.